Here's our next project. 1972 Arctic Cat Panther, 303 rotary Wankel. This is customers. Basically, we need to take and install these new track drive sprockets. It's failed the fate of many other Arctic Cats. The sprockets just explode. The plastic gets old and brittle and just busts up like it's ice or glass, or I don't know, it just gets hard and brittle. But it's a pretty nice machine. Original survivor. We went through the motor a couple years ago and resealed it and cleaned the carbon out of it and got it running good. It's got a few little issues, but it's pretty nice. Let's judge her real quick. We got the dreaded cracks in the hood here. Makes the hood all kind of wobbly. No big deal. Hood's nice though. Decals are pretty decent. Decal over here is boogered up about something. Don't know what that was about. Bullet hole. Got the dreaded muffler burn. Mufflers loosen up on these, slide over, and then melt the hood. They all got bad handlebar controls. We usually just get rid of them and black them out or blank them out with a little piece of plastic so they don't look hokey. Got all the gauges, or no, it has no gauges, but it's got all the covers, and glove box works. Comes with a mouse nest. Seat's nice. Got one little spot here, but that's real nice for original. Got the broken backrest like they all do. It's a cool looking part, but it's just fragile, and people get up in there and push on them when they get stuck, or if they get banged into, they get broken. Lawnmower hits it, who knows what. Doesn't have the upgraded, it's original cable pull recoil that don't work worth a shit. Belly pan looks really nice and clean in there. Guy does a good job shining them up. You could shine up a turd. Belt probably needs changing. That's sitting way down in there. But not too bad. But our job is basically to pull that shaft out. Skid's got to come out, track's got to come out, shaft's got to come out. Stay tuned. Okay, the first step is you got to remove the skid frame, which requires taking 2 bolts out on each side. One up here by the footrest and one back here by the back. 3/8 bolts takes a 9/16 wrench. We're going to use impact. You can use ratchet, whatever you got. One of the tricks is you loosen up one side, get the one side working free, and then tighten that side back up, and go to the other side, work on that side, get that side free. If you get this side to bolt out of it and start working on the other side, a lot of times you break the pipe loose, and now we got the pipe spinning in there, and the pipe spins easier than the bolt backs out. Now you end up having to cut the bolt head off, and you just get into a real struggle. So if you get one side working, you can tighten it up, get the other side free, and then this one will spin right back out because you had it all freed up already. Get the drift? Okay, I've got our skid frame pulled out. Got a shock through a little bit of oil. Looks like it's had some grease in its lifetime. Okay, there's exactly what we was talking about. A lot of times they'll be just like this one. This one's froze up in there. Bolts will back out, no problem. This one up here is a free slider, which they should slide free because they need to pivot because the arm needs to work. That's the suspension point. that needs to twist in there a little bit. So it shouldn't be froze up. But if you get a hard bolt where you get this one about halfway out and then this pipe starts spinning, you can't get in, you can't get out, and then sometimes you can't get this one threaded back in because you didn't take the chain or the track tension off and some other bullshit steps that you didn't do trying to get it apart, and now you got yourself in a real mess. So that's where you get one bolt working free, tighten that one up, get the other one working free, and then back to one you've lubed up first out and save you a lot of grief. This one we're going to have to free this axle shaft up before we put it back in. That could turn into some trouble. But usually they pound out of there pretty easy. Another thing to check is how close the rivets are to how bad the hype axis wore down. This has got some wear on it. You'll love a worn area. There's a worn area. Change that if we weren't so lazy. Alright, now we gotta get these three bolts out of here. These are carriage head bolts, 5/16. Okay, the next step is we got to take the chain case cover off to access the gears in there and the chain. To take that off, there's three little wing bolts on there we got to take off. It's a big pain in the ass because there's no way to drain it. So you got to pull the cover off and just let the oil dribble into the belly pan. So get your rags ready. You're going to need them, and then just take them bolts off. Washer. Okay, so we have a little problem getting our bottom gear off there. We've been prying on it. It's a little too tight to get a puller in there. The screw of the puller is too long. I'm going to try a little bit of heat. Oh, they're just breaking teeth off it now. That's not good. Son of a... Well, we're gonna let that sit. This is the fun of working on these things. Now we gotta find the sprocket, because we got stupid. Okay, we got the gear off. They ruined that though. Broke some teeth in that in the process, in the struggle. We ended up just having to get real physical with it. Basically drove it off with a big punch and hammer. But that's what it took. Now I just got to cut off the bearing. We're going to put a new bearing on there anyhow. And we'll be able to slide the shaft out. Okay, we're going to go over the bare minimum tools to do this job of changing your drive sprockets on your 72 Panther. You need 9/16 inch socket, wrench, whatever. This is the bare minimum stuff. You need at least a wrench. That's going to take your skid frame bolts out. Here and here. Out of the tunnel to get your skid frame out. Going to loosen your chain tension on your drive chain, so you get that off. So 9/16 is going to take care of that. All the bearings are removed for their 5/16 bolts. So you need a 5/16 socket wrench, or a 1/2 inch wrench, and a 1/2 inch socket and a wrench. Bare minimum of a wrench. Socket's way nicer. You'll need a pair of pliers, just for cuz. We'll use them to start these loosened up. These thumb screws, you can't get them loosened by hand. You could also use a screwdriver in there to put them around. That'd be the bare minimum stuff. Oh yeah, you need an Allen wrench to loosen your collars, and also a hammer, also a punch, and a hammer to loosen up the lock collars on your bearings. Okay, let's get right down to the money part of this. You're $105, and that got us 2 sprockets and the gasket. We were careful enough, we could have reused our old gasket. We were able to save that. We're going to need 2 new bearings. Those you can buy for $12 if you're a smart shopper. If you pay through the nose, you pay $25, so you'll save $50. You buy them at any farm store. And they use them in a million applications. A 1-inch flange bearing with a lock collar. Bearings, so you got sprockets, bearings. You need an O-ring for another $1. And I can't think of anything else you're going to need. We're going to need a sprocket because we screwed that up. So that's another $25, let's say. So we're looking at $175.86, $186 to redo the whole drive system on this thing. Not too bad. The biggest costs were these. But that's why you're doing it, I guess. And this would be the numbers if you were a little bit better mechanics than what we were, and a little bit better shopper. $105 for this, for the sprockets. You can't do nothing more. You know, it's only one place to buy them. You could get your bearings down to about $12 a piece. It gets you down to $25 a piece on the bearings. Another $1 for your O-ring. You don't have a sprocket to replace. There's another $25. So this job should cost about $130. Our stupidity cost us another $56. So there you have that. So that's what it should cost, 131 bucks.